Hello everyone, this is David, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the new Carenado Aero Commander 500. This airplane released last week, and I've been flying it for about 4 days now. I have a good feeling for the airplane, and I have to say that I really like it. And also, I've been waiting for a really good, high quality Aero Commander for a long time, especially the 500 Strike. Ever since I was a little kid and would watch Bob Hoover do his aerobatics in this airplane, I've always been really impressed with the airplane and always wanted a really good high quality one, and there really hasn't been anything out that did the airplane justice until now. With that said, let's go ahead and start the review. As usual with Carenado and Labio products as well, the exterior modeling and texture work is spectacular. This airplane is set up to be, kind of a well-used but not abused airplane, so you're going to have some paint chips like here around the cowl, and those look really nice. Some minor chips and stuff on the nose and such, and they went into a huge amount of detail here on the gear. This looks spectacular. Little bits of oil and grease on it, and they've even went and done really nice texture work around some of the screws and stuff that would get removed during like a annual, and I almost say condition inspection, because right now the Yak that I fly is going through a condition inspection, which is the same thing as an annual but for experimental airplanes. So anyway, that was on my mind. But like you can see here, just really nice texture detail, and there's some of the detailing even around the screws that would be removed when they do the annual to check some stuff in the back inside there. I'm still not that great with the avatar mode camera. And like coming back here behind the engine, where the gear retracts into, you have a little bit of dirt and grease and stuff there. And you can even read the data plate on the gear there. They've also done a really nice job with the bump mapping on the exterior. The aluminum, like when you move back and forth, you can see it really well. The aluminum looks real, kind of that wavy look that aluminum has to it. They've also done a really nice job on the boots as well with the bump modeling. And they've also actually incorporated just a little bit of wear, a couple spots in the boot, where it's kind of worn through, or not worn through, but has some marks and stuff on it, or bugs. And they've done a really nice job with that. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go into the VC and see what we got in there. And like I said, as usual with Carenado and Labio products, the VC textures and 3D modeling are just as high caliber as the exterior. The panel is set up in a way that it's really good for IFR flying, and we've just done a really nice job on the interior. The interior animations look really nice, like for the armrests and for the windows. They went into a lot of work with these. You even have like a little green bit of glass in the middle of the pane, that you see like when you view glass from the side. They went into even that much detail with the airplane. The interior is like the exterior, well loved, well used. Personally, I would have preferred to have seen a really high quality, well-kept airplane, but I will say the texture work is absolutely superb. It looks like it's a used airplane that's 30 years old that hasn't had the interior redone, and they've done a really nice job of that. You have little scratches and scrapes in the leather, a little bit of dirt here and there, scratches here. The tray table obviously pops in and out, and that looks really nice. The animation looks good. And they've even went into enough detail here in the door where you can actually see kind of that ribbed look that aircraft door seals have. Just little bitty details that go a long way into making stuff look really realistic. Like the 3D modeling here with the hinge for the flap. Just little bitty things that really add detail. And as you can see, I have the Garmin 750 put in the panel, and that's a super easy installation with Carenado airplanes. All you do is click an exe file in the aircraft folder, and voila, you have the Garmin 750 if you have it installed from Flight 1. But even the default GNS 530 is more than enough, but I like to have that 750 in the panel. It looks really nice. The cockpit is really well laid out. Everything's really pretty easy to get to. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get this thing cranked up and fly. Also, just one more thing, the gauge reflections look really nice as well. Alright. They have a nice shake effect when the aircraft starts up. It looks really nice as well. And they also have the same thing when you're going down the runway, and little squeaks and sounds and stuff. They really just add a lot of depth to the product, and personally I like a lot. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and hush up and let y'all hear the sounds as we take off. Airplane, as you can see, is super responsive, and you can see why Bob Hoover chose it to do aerobatics in, because the airplane is, like I said, just super responsive and flies really great. The roll rate on this thing is really phenomenal, actually. The controls are very light. It's a very nimble airplane, especially for as big of a twin as it is. And that's, the Carenado has carried that through to this model as well. And that's just really very impressive that they went to the detail to do that. Performance-wise, FPS, the aircraft performs really well. I haven't had any issue with that. I've flown it in some pretty resource-heavy areas. Actually, even S-45 is relatively resource-heavy, but not so much like Seattle or something like that. And I haven't really dropped below my target frame rate. Everything's been really smooth and stutter-free, and it's just really quite impressive, actually. Go back out to the exterior here and let y'all hear the sounds. Beautiful airplane and a beautiful 3D model. And if you look closely, you can actually see the exhaust stacks shaking. And they've went into a lot of detail on the top of the engines where your exhaust ports are. So you can see a lot of dirt and stuff up there. The night lighting on the airplane is also very, very nice. Looks very very realistic. I guess I'll go ahead and show you all that. Go back to the VC here. And go ahead and actually turn some lights on first. That way, when it goes to night, the airplane isn't completely dark where I can't see anything. So. The VC lighting actually looks pretty nice under HDR, but I still do prefer to fly at night with HDR off. I just think it kind of gives a little more subtle glow effect to the light and doesn't make it look quite so bright. But this is with HDR on, and the cabin lighting looks absolutely spectacular, and the VC lighting looks very, very nice as well. They've even incorporated a little light effect there that looks really nice as well, that little star light effect. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off HDR so we can see what it looks like without that on. The panel is, more of a subdued lighting. It looks very, very nice though. Go ahead and turn all these on and turn the cabin light off. The panel lighting, at night is very, very subdued. Looks very nice. They've even, incorporated a little bit of a gauge reflection there into the windows. That's a detail I haven't really seen from Carenado. And you can actually see there's the ADI. Some of the other stuff. It looks very, very nice. They went into a lot of detail and thought with this airplane, and it's really very impressive. On the exterior, the lighting looks really, really nice as well. The strobe effect, landing lights, I'm actually going to go back in here and turn the cabin light on, and so you can see that from the exterior. It just looks really, really nice. They've done an excellent job on this package. Alright, let's go ahead and bring it in for landing so we can see the landing light effects. One thing that I don't like is how high the gear warning goes off on the airplane. It's kind of annoying, but it's probably set at its real world level. It's just not to my suiting because I like to pull the power back pretty far. So. The Shrike is a relatively fast airplane, definitely well set up for, a long cross country. Has pretty good range, and with the Carenado package, it's definitely something that I would have no problem spending a lot of time flying, and I do plan on flying it quite a bit. I guess I didn't show you all the cabin lighting without HDR on, and as you can see, it really does look a lot better. The lighting's a little more subtle, but it looks a little bit, or to me, it looks a little bit more realistic. Just, real nice look to it. And even the lighting on that looks really nicely done. Later on, I plan on making a video, kind of a tutorial on doing aerobatics in the airplane, with both power and with the engines off. So if you'd be interested in that, please subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out, because I will be posting it probably sometime within the next couple days. just kind of want to get some time to do that. Back to the flight physics, they've done a nice job. You can actually feel it when you add, an extra notch of flaps, or you drop the gear. You can actually feel it in the controls and how the airplane flies. So this isn't, just kind of like a default flight dynamic that so many people say Carenado and Alevio use. They've done a lot of work to make this airplane actually handle like a real airplane, and handle like the Shrike. I've never flown one in real life, but I have flown quite a few twins, like the Navajo, Baron, Cessna 340, etc. in real life. And I would suspect the Shrike is pretty similar to those in handling characteristics. Has a very nice landing light effect. And from the exterior, the night lighting looks really, really nice. They've done a really great job with this. I can honestly tell you that I definitely recommend purchasing this airplane. Pretty much anything from Carenado you're going to be safe with, or Carenado or Alevio you're going to be safe with. They make really good quality products, and their later products, just keep getting better and better. So, don't worry about what a lot of naysayers on sites like Avsim say about Carenado's realism. You can fly this airplane with a real checklist, and everything on it will work how it's supposed to. You click a switch, the switch will work, etc. The only thing they don't have modeled is the breakers. So a lot of people like to knock an airplane if it's not PMDG and every single system is modeled. But to me, as a real world pilot, it's a lot of fun to hop in something that looks very realistic, and has everything. If I want to use all the systems and stuff, it has it. So Carenado is definitely the king of GA and business aircraft, and I'm looking forward to whatever they release next, preferably the Dornier 228. Looking forward to that airplane. But alright folks, that about sums it up, and hope you've enjoyed the review, and like I said, go purchase this airplane, and also stay tuned for the aerobatics tutorial with this airplane. Have a good day.